Welcome to DKMN Season 4 Round 6 in Australia. It is a mystery round this time, and not many people are happy about this, but it is Australia. Quite a short track, looking for lap times between the 1-minute 16s and maybe low 17s in worst case scenario. Yeah, 4 DRS zones. One on main straight and second straight after the first chicane. Third straight is after the annoying fast chicane in sector 2, and the other fast chicane, the death chicane, at 10 and 11. As we've got NLR Tim coming out, but we have got Stefan coming out first in the WR outfit as he starts his outlap, brake dragging just to get those tyre temperatures up and make sure that those tyres are in prime condition for his flying lap. So let's have a quick look what is going on so far. We got 2 cars out on track. I think everyone's just trying to sort out their setup because it is a mystery round and no one really has practice for this, so maybe going a bit higher on the wings just to make sure they don't spin, make sure that they are able to keep their car on track for the entirety of the lap. As I will turn the sound down as it is very loud. Okay. And we will go on board with Stefan as he is the first one to come across the line. As he now goes down the straight. Oh, and a little wiggle just before turn 1. It's very hard in that traction zone, but off he goes on his first lap. Going down into turn 1, you want to brake just after 100 metre board, and he goes wide, and that's his lap over. So we'll quickly go to NLR Tim. He brakes at a decent spot into turn 1 as the Red Bull comes out of the way, down into the second straight. Both Red Bulls moving out of the way. GT10 braking just after the 100 metre board and turning the car into the hairpin gear 3. Then slowly here, you do not want to get double warning on that exit in the race or invalidate the lap. But now just braking on that shadow on this corner and coming around into the second DRS straight soonly after, as he may pick up a little slipstream. No, Williams moves out of the way. Now coming down into the dash chicane of 10 and 11. As it's quite neat, but loses the car, somehow keeps on the track and continues his lap, braking just before the 50, coming into this newly profiled hairpin for 2022. Comes around the final few corners into the hairpin just before the 50. Gets it nicely rotated through the final corner, and what is the first lap time of the day going to be? It's going to be a 1:16.7, well, high 16.6 to start off, as we got, I think that'll be McLaren of Spicer. No, it's Stefan, but he yeah, messed up turn 1. As it is Daddlepad next up to the line. The championship leaders coming out early. That is NR main. They're coming in, and Daddlepad comes across the line, set at 16.5. Yeah, very quick lap time to start the day off. As the Red Bulls are coming across the line. No, they're starting laps now. As EXT are also starting laps, but we'll look to Spicer, but he's invalidated. Also, forgot to mention, FGE, new team on the grid. They're taking AMS's place in the Aston Martin. Ismail almost gets in the way of, I think that is IRT Jaden. Yes it is. As we'll look to find the next car coming across the line. And that will probably be Yano. So we'll go on board with Yano as he is invalidated on his lap time. Maybe still get a banker in, we'll get the lap data up actually. As he comes around the final corners. And he does just get a banker, just to get himself started off this evening. As it is a 17.1 as a banker. As Boylulu comes in, not happy with his lap. Kiki coming across the line in just a moment's time. Looks like it's not going to be a representative lap, it's a 17.9, which is quite the way off the pace as Monza almost sends his car into the shadow realm. Yeah, very easy to do on that curb. Kart also struggling. Set off. Yeah, as I said, no one's done practice for this because it is a mystery round. As Spicer gets a little slipstream to the line and sets 17.1. Next car to come across the line is Yeezy, and he's headed his way into the pits. As Kart actually lights up the first sector, that is a purple sector 1. Not sure if that is definite, but his battery deployment is depleting by the second. 3% left, so yeah, I doubt we'd be finishing the lap as the first outlaps are done. Except IRT Jaden, as he bounces over the curbs just the right amount, as I believe that is the other FGE car coming in, driver not car. Anyway, Jaden through the final hairpin and now into the tricky traction zone of turn 16, I want to say. Coming down to the line, it's going to be a 1:17.2, which puts him in P4 for the time being. Ismail next to come across the line, and it's an 18.8, so not acclimatized to the track just yet. But yeah, we will see. Tim, we'll go on board with Tim as he's the next one to cross the line for his second outlap. Second flying lap. Just getting those tyres up to temperature. You can sort of see his temperatures on the dash, on the dashboard of his steering wheel. They're around 92, 94 degrees Celsius. As he winds his way through the final hairpin. Important to get this right. Just so you set up this last traction zone perfectly, and off he goes on his next lap. So turn 1, braking just between 150, and gets that almost out of bounds. We're coming down, braking at the 100, turning just a little bit of didn't look completely right, but he's gotten away with it and coming down into the fast right-hander, and then braking on the shadow for this fast chicane, newly profiled of course for the 2023 season, and down DRS straight he goes. No slipstream from his teammate, and now coming down, and it is a purple sector 2. So at the moment he's going to be ahead of his teammate Daddlepad, but we will see how that goes into the final sector. Braking just before the 50, getting the car turned in nicely there, and then wide on the exit. Use all the curb again here. Use all the curving, and braking just before the 50. Doesn't get the car turned in right for the hairpin, but down the straight he goes very nicely on the traction. And it is going to be a 16.260, which is 2/10 in front of his teammate Daddlepad. As Daddlepad is getting ready for a lap. So we look for the next car. I do believe that is soapbox on his lap. As he comes across the line, it's a 17.7. So it looks like NLR are very well suited to this track. The others maybe just warming up still. There is hope. As Spicer gets his lap under the way, and Yano as well. We'll look on board Luke as he doesn't seem to be improving just yet. Yeezy coming across the line, he's going to do another lap. So we'll look to Monza, he's also invalidated. So not great so far for the CRE guys. Neither with a lap so far as Monza hits the pit lane entry. Very easy to mess that up as Lucas also goes into the pits. Meadow just starting a lap, and we'll look to Dalbad. No, that is Tim, he's coming in. Spice is invalidated. We'll look to Dark Heroes, he is on his way to the line and he is not invalidated. Yellow flags through the final sector, that's not going to hamper him much. He comes around the final corners now, very careful on the throttle, and it is only going to be a 19.4 to start off. His cast has just started a lap, his teammate. But we'll look to Yeezy, who's not got a lap this time round, as it is invalidated. Channel comes across the grass, not going to count, so is Kiki. Also heading into the pits. Ismail starting a lap, we'll go on board with Ismail. Coming down the straight, coming into turn 1. As let's see how he does it. And he's gone wide. Somehow keeps his lap valid. As he comes now down into the hairpin of turn 3. Keeps the car stable, keeps the car going. Uses all the curb there, that's very well done. And uses all the curb there as well. Coming round into the far chicane, leaves a bit of room on the exit curb. You can use more of that exit curb, but I guess you want to keep it safe as he has only done an 18.8 so far. Coming down into the far chicane of 10 and 11. He is 7.5 temps up as he's just again kept the car on track limits. As he comes down into the final sector, uses all the curb on the outside, turns in very late as you do, and gets the car nicely hooked into the hairpin. Just a little bit of oversteer on the exit, that's not going to hamper him too much. Come down the straight. What is it going to be? It's going to be a 17.6, and that puts him in P8 for now. As Tim has retired from the session, he thinks he has a good enough lap, and let's be honest, he probably does for the time being. We'll look to Kart as he has run out of fuel. He's on his in lap. There's just a bit of lag there. As Rafi, I'm not going to say how I think it's pronounced. We're going, here comes Rafi as he's just winding up for his final lap of the session. Quite a few marbles on his tyres, that's not going to hurt his setup too much as he's making his way down into turn 1. Very nicely done indeed. Now coming into turn 3, you want to keep the car hooked in, you don't want to lock the outside brakes, the rear brakes, but he's sort of locked it right too late into the turn 3, as he's taking the quite strange lines. I'm not sure if this is lag, but yeah, comes now through into the DRS straight, turning through turn 8, which is a quite long corner. Now braking at the 50, coming into the dash chicane of 10 and 11. Now into the 4th DRS straight of the lap, braking just before the 50 into turn 12, as he has locked the rear brakes, and that's going to ruin his lap. Takes all the curving there, and braking into the final corner, as it is going to be probably a 17.1, which isn't a bad lap considering the amount of mistakes within that lap. We look to Boyalulu. He's not set a lap time so far, but it looks like he is on course to set his lap time as we are into the final few minutes of qualifying. Going through turn 13, kept it almost into the wall there, but kept it on track as now he comes around turn number 16 to complete his lap, and it is going to be a 1:16.7, which puts him in P3, just behind the NLR guys, as Daddlepad has just started his lap. Yano also is just starting his lap. We'll look to Kiki. He's set the first sector on fire. That is a purple sector 1. He's coming down, and I don't think this has seen him. Almost curtains, as that will probably be a penalty for the Haas, and that is his lap done with. But he has got time to set another lap if he chooses to recharge his ERS. But we will look to Daddlepad, as he is second fastest, and his teammate is out of the session because he thinks he's good enough. But is his lap time good enough for pole position? Daddlepad down into turn 12, coming through the final sector. He's going to take 13. You want to just lift off in 13. Keeps it just about in track limits. Drops the car into gear 3 for the hairpin, and now down the straight. Here he comes. Is it going to be pole? Is it going to beat Tim? As he comes to the line, it is a 16.4, which isn't enough to beat Tim, unfortunately for Daddlepad, but it does lock in an NLR front row for now. As Spicer comes up to the line, it's 17.1 to begin with. Is he going to improve on it? Let's see, 16.9 for Spicer. Yano next. It's going to be an invalid lap. He's going to be starting at the back of the grid. As Jaden not improving, we'll look to Yeezy? No. Medal as he comes around the final corner. Medal, what can he do? He's not set a lap so far. He's coming around the final corner now. And it's going to be a 1 minute, 17.5. Just behind his teammate Yeezy. As the next car to cross the line is a Ferrari. It is Soapbox as he comes around the final corner now. He's coming up to the line, and it's going to be at 17.6, which puts him in P12 for the time being, as Ismail invalid on his lap, so he's not going to improve. Jaden coming across the line. No, he's in the pits. Yeezy, next car to cross the line. What can he do? And it's going to be a 16.8. That puts him in P4. No one yet to challenge the NLR drivers. We've got Monza coming up to the line as he spun through the final corner, and that is qualifying. So it is an NLR 1-2 to front the grid for round number 6 here in Australia. Titten first, Delapad second. Then you got GT10 Boyolulu coming in P3 for the GT10 outfit. Then you got Yeezy for FGE's debut, NLR Spicer in P5. And that is the final lap time in the 16s. Then you got Rappy in the Haas for CRE, Jaden, Stefan, Meadow and Kart rounding out the top 10 with a 17.557. Then you got Ismail and Soapbox for the WR main team, 11 and 12 respectively, as we go into the race. So, what are everyone's predictions for the race? Obviously, we got NLR 1-2 up front, but maybe something will change up the order. And then you got Boyolulu P3. He can probably make a dent in that NLR 1-2. But we shall see. He set a good lap time in quali, so we can expect maybe a shake-up in the order into turn 1. Obviously it's a tight turn 1. Yeah, a lot can happen into turn 1. We saw that with Schumacher, Ralph Schumacher, and I think that was Barrichello turn 1. They came together, car flew off the track. As we are just waiting to get underway, as some people above the Red Bull garage seem to be very excited about what's to come. I'm getting very excited about cars on the grid. As the guy in the Ferrari garage is a bit weird. He's cheering on the television with probably nothing on it, as we are. Now 5 red lights. As we go into round 6, it's 5 red lights, and away we go. Tim leads the way. Good start for him. As we now go down into turn 1. Any shake-up in the order. Boyolulu can't get past into turn 1. It's an NLR 1-2 to start off the race. As we look further down the order, as McLaren had a little bit of a spin. That's Spies, not a spin, but a moment. As we're going 3 wide, I think, into this hairpin. Cars behind, a lot of chaos. I'm not sure what's going on. Lucas has gone wide, and he's already got the first double warning of the day. Still DRS train off, but we'll see what happens as Soapbox gets past Stefan. I think Stefan's got an issue here. Maybe got an issue with the front wing. No, it's intact, but he's losing positions. And you got Monza coming up next. He goes side by side, and a lag for Stefan. I think that's why he's gone off. Monza still side by side with Stefan, as now Mons is coming down, going down the order, and yeah, he's getting. I think he's got wing damage as he's come down into final corners. As Boy Lulu's had an issue up ahead. What's happened to him? As he's got swamped by 3 cars already. Coming down to turn 1, looking on the outside, gets his wheel on the grass, pushed off by Spicer, and he has to rejoin, make sure it's safe though, and just about safe with Medal coming up now on him. Going down into the hairpin, he gets in front as now NLR are 1 and 2 and away. 3 seconds to gap to P3. As Rappy now coming, looking for a move on Yeezy as he comes down into the second DRS straight. DRS not enabled just yet as Monza did have damage. He's gone into the pits, but coming through the straight, he's going side by side, sort of. Is he? Yes, he is. And has to drop back for now as some moves further back. That is Jaden and Dark Heroes. Nothing doing there. As now we look up the order, Kiki and the WR drivers. Now we're going 3 wide into the hairpin. Spicer keeps looks down the inside. Nothing for him there. Rappy now gets a switch back into the final corner. He's going down the straight and he's going to take P3 for now, side by side into turn 1. It's Rappy on the inside. He's going to get ahead just for now. And we got Yeezy just behind. He's looking for a move again. Going down into the hairpin and he just backs off. But Cart and Spicer now side by side. And Cart goes around the outside, gets the inside for the next corner. And he is ahead of Spicer as they now go down to the fast chicane. No move can really be made there. Cart stays ahead for now. And he's looking to catch up to the group in front as Lucas gets past Ismail. As Ismail seems to have an issue. He's dropping down the order. And our guys just ahead. And we're going 3 wide into the next corner. As Spicer gets a double on Rafi. And now we got a huge queue behind him. Is now looking to get the move is Cart, and he's looking down the inside. A little issue for the 2, and that is Spicer, and that is Rappy. They're off the track, and that yeah, Spicer has just been, I think, T-boned by the car in front. Anyone coming into the pits doesn't look like it, as I do believe that was Rappy who initiated the contact and spun Spicer. Unfortunate for him, as now we got FGE looking to make their way forward on Cart as Yeezy now looks into turn 3, nothing doing there, and we've got Soapbox just behind, maybe looking for a move into turn 6. Yeah, and runs a fastest lap, both CRE drivers at the back, but that was a little issue for Cart here, and he's going to get swamped by 3, maybe 4 cars behind. It will be just the 3, although I say 3 wide on the straight, as now Cart looking to the inside. Nothing he can do there, but now we got GT10 side by side, maybe swapping around, as now it's a massive squabble just for all for P3 as Medal gets pushed off the track there. Boy Lulu gets pushed off the track as the train has sort of split up now. Kiki ahead of Medal as Cart, Yeezy and Soapbox look to break away. It's only 8 tenths a gap, so they could very well break away from the group behind. Dark Heroes now on a 3-second time penalty as Kiki has lost the train and just got back in. He needs to make sure he stays in this train here, otherwise without a safety car the maximum he'll be looking for is maybe a P6 as again, some more dust flicks up as Kart gets overtaken by Kiki as a result of his little mishap into the fast chicane. Very easy to do. And now Yeezy and Soapbox are breaking away here. Let's see what happens as many cars go wide. And Soapbox and Yeezy working together just to break away from the group behind. As, yeah, NLR already checked out 7 seconds. Yeah. As they're at the end of the straight, they're just starting the straight and it's only lap 6. Very much Max Verstappen vibes. As Yeezy just going to swap here with Soapbox, I think, for now. May stay behind, he is. They're playing the team game here from two opposite teams. As Kart, oh my god, hits the back of Kiki as that is Dark Heroes off. And he's ghosted, thankfully, but Kart just sending one, trying to maybe hit Kiki, not on purpose, but would have hit him to the shadow realm, as now Yanil goes around the inside. And Kart has dropped from P3 at the start of lap 3 to P9 at the midway through lap 6 as Yanil now from the back of the grid already up to P6. As now Boyalulu coming up to P7, just in front of Kart and Medal. Yeah, he got hit. He had a little issue earlier, but he's making his way back. And he's showing those pace, even though he's on the hard compound tyre. And Monza just got a 3-second time penalty. And now we've got Kart looking for a move into turn 1. You don't really see moves here, and that's why barging and bashing. And now Lucas gets a double, maybe on one already, and almost on 2, as he does around the outside. Gets a little tap from Kart, I think, and he can't really finish the move off. Kart stays ahead, and he's struggling. Look at that. He's struggling on those tyres, and yeah, hard's maybe not burning too well here, as yeah, NLR 1-2 swapping around. As Soapbox and Yeezy have in fact broken away from the chasing group behind. As GT10 may be looking for a team play just to get past Yanil and cement their position so far. But Yanil coming up, and he's gotten past Kiki. As Kart has gone wide again, and he's going to maybe look to be overtaken as the two GT10 cars swap around. As that is Kart being overtaken by Lucas, and now there's a whole pack just waiting to get overtake on Kart. As oh, wow, Medal dives down the inside and he gets a move into turn 3. As Monza has retired in the pit lane, his race is done at the end of lap 8, unfortunately for him. As we'll have a look at this battle as the NLR guys swap around again. Stefan has gotten past Kart, and oh no, that was lag. Down into the death chicane. No one tries to make it wide, as Ismail has a little issue there. He's going to get overtaken by 1 or 2 cars here, but somehow keeps ahead using the battery to his advantage. As we look now back to this battle for P5, GT10 trying to keep their cars together as they go side by side into the final corner, and that is what happens when you go side by side, when you're not meant to be. Both cars now without a front wing, and Spicer is just going to pick up the pieces. Kart shouldn't really be, yeah, as Kart and Stefan have to do a full lap now without a front wing. That is very, yeah, not great. Stark Heroes is also going to get past, but let's go back to this battle, because it is the closest battle on track, except for IRT Jaden, who is going to probably get the move here on medal. Coming down onto the straight, and it's a pretty straightforward overtake as he gets past, and it is an IRT 8 and 9. As here, Boyolulu gets overtaken by Yanel. Yeah, nothing much there, as it is quite a straightforward overtake. But with the pit stop phase coming up soon, it's pretty safe to say that NLR won't have any issues in terms of undercuts or overcuts, being 7 seconds in front. But the group behind, there's a lot to do with strategy. Let's quickly get out the tyres, which I was probably supposed to do at the start. But Kiki on mediums, he's going to box earlier than others. Maybe around 12, 13, maybe 14 of the race. So he'll go on to the hards, which are the slower tyre, of course. So he's going to be at a disadvantage for the rest of the race. Pretty much. As there is a yellow in sector 2, that is Ismail. He's had a little spin. I don't think he's broken anything, thankfully for him, as he gets it on his way. As Yanel now looking to make the move back. No. As Yeezy has gone closer to the back of the soapbox. Yeah, but he's closing his DRS. He doesn't want to lose time, and he will stay in front. As we'll go on board with Yanel, maybe looking for a move here. Doesn't want to do anything silly, but also just wants to make sure that he is in front of Boyolulu. Maybe give chase to the car in front. Maybe I have to undercut to do so. But now let's see what he does as the two NOR guys are swapping up ahead again. As Yeezy has also swapped with Soapbox. As here comes Yanel. And Boyolulu doesn't want to fight this. And Yanel has actually gone wide. And that is going to not give Kiki any advantage, as Boyolulu just drops in behind. And Yanel now, 3-second time penalty. I do believe that is permanent, as Stefan also gets a 3-second in the exact same place, I do believe. As Yanel is struggling on those tyres, coming down into turn 1. Yeah, not much, not many moves being made there. So as the race has died down, has anyone got any predictions on what will happen during this race? I mean, it's quite safe to assume without a safety car, NLR have got this 1-2 in the bag. But what do you think will happen behind the pack as Boyolulu again swaps with Yanel? As Kiki's tyres, I do believe, are just dropping off now. This Dark Hero has got another 3-second time penalty. So I think main eyes are going to be on Kiki here. He will probably be the first one to pit out of everyone in this race. Coming down into turn 3. His tyres seem to be okay for the time being, but those tyres will just drop off and keep dropping until the point where he has to pit around this lap or next. As he actually goes wide, that's going to be a warning for him. As we'll have a quick look at the chat. As we got a Kiki fan from Keke. Yeah, long lost brother. But Yanol seems to have made a tiny mistake, but yeah, they're working together, they're not going to lose each other time. As Kiki does in fact go into the box this lap, and it will be for the hard tyre unless he wants to do a double stop and lose all his all the positions that he's had. And also Luke's in the pits for the medium tyre. It's going to be a stretch, especially with how tyres deteriorate around here. Probably not the best decision to box out early, but you got to do something different to gain more points. So you might as well. As actually Kiki's come out in a little bit of traffic here. Ismail looking to make the move on the warmer tyres, obviously, because Kiki's come out the pits and he is on cold tyres, cold hard tyres, which are probably the biggest pain you could have on this game, except for marbles. Actually, cold hard tyres and marbles, that's probably just painful. But now, yeah, Kiki looking to just break free of Ismail once his tyres have warmed up. And off he goes. And he is, yeah, just pulling the gap. As Soapbox has entered the pits, this is for an undercut on Yeezy. As no one else enters the pits for the time being. And are just keeping that 1-2. And Stefan also enters the pits. I feel bad for Stefan. He's had a rough race. He's lost his front wing this race, so he will have his wing changed. No? Okay. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, Boyolulu, Yanov still locked into their scrap for P4 for the time being. Will be P5 eventually when everyone boxes. As we'll see how yeah, they are the closest battle on track, except from the NLR guys. As Kiki has just got in front of Dark Heroes, just down the straight, and off he goes. Will break free soon enough. If he does that and extends to lap 27, yeah, that'll be something. It's possible, but I think everyone else would catch up to him by the time that happens. As a lot of flurry in the pit lane, as many people decide to block this lap, including Daddlepad, the leaders. Well, the leader. And Yeezy is behind Soapbox. The undercut has worked, and he's a second clear now on 1 or 2 lap fresher tyres. Now, he will catch up but how long will it be until he does catch up? As Daddlepad, 3-second time penalty, but yeah, he's long gone from the cars behind. But we will look to Yanel, as he is on fresh tyres, fresh rubber, and he's coming up behind Kiki. This is the problem with the harder tyre. You get caught up so quickly at the end of the pit stop phase. Tim has not extended to lap 27, so he will be disqualified. And Yanel now come down. A bit of bashing there as they go side by side. Yanel takes to the grass. The push off the track there, not really the best racecraft from Kiki there, as that will probably be reported to the stewards, and will probably get penalty for that, as the two G10 cars do box, and Kiki will have to face Yanel again. So we'll see how that goes for round 2. As Yanel going down into turn 3, stays behind. Thankfully doesn't spring a surprise dive bomb and send each other into the shadow realm. And now going down into this far chicane, Boyolulu's cleared of the guys that's behind, but here comes Yanel coming down the straight. He's gonna have DRS, and let's see what happens here. Both flashing, so both out of battery really, as Yanel is in front and that is Lucas behind, who will probably be wanting to pick up some of the pieces here, as Kiki on the harder tyre, and Lucas just has to stay behind for now. But you would assume that the next lap we will see Lucas get in front. As now that is where am I looking? Yeah, Spicer and Soapbox. Spicer get to pit, and Soapbox obviously boxed at on lap 15. He is ahead. I'm not sure what Spicer's strategy is here. Whether it's to slow the car behind, the cars behind Yanel, or what, but so far he will come out last, which isn't great. But he will have the fresher rubber, so we'll see maybe an overtaking montage from him. As Yeezy now, very simple move around the outside into the left chicane, and Spicer slots in behind. As I said, actually, Lucas gets past at the just before the death chicane, and Medal makes his way past Rappy as well. Rappy has to box again, probably can't make the end of the race on that tyre, as he does let Stefan pass, as his race is pretty much over at this point, unless there's a safety car, as that's probably what Spicer's doing. He's probably waiting for the safety car and waiting to box with everyone else, as that is Yanel side by side with Boyolulu. Switchback from Boyolulu, Spicer inside line, and he gets ahead as he's now faced with Yanel, but probably at the wrong point of the track here. Spicer would really want Yanel would really want Spicer to be maybe ahead of by a few seconds up the road. Well, sorry, a few tenths up the road. Spicer's now going to have to defend it. Yanel's going to have to defend this from Boyolulu until now, in which Boyolulu now has to make an overtake on Spicer and Yanel, as they do go 3 wide momentarily, side by side. And I think, oh my god, no! Boyolulu has crashed with Spicer, and that is a VSC. Should really be a safety car, but that is a VSC. yeah, he's been pushed off the track there. Not the cleanest of moves at all. And that is Boylulu out of this race. The man who started P3 is out. And yes, VSC, Spicer comes in, gets a change of wing for that contact with the Red Bull, as the VSC is about to end. Yeah. As Lucas is now going to try and spring an offensive here on Kiki. As the green flag drops and we are back underway. Lucas looking for a move on Kiki here. 10 laps to go. And it is a very simple move for the two. For Lucas, as he has got a 3-second time penalty. Not sure if it's going to be removed or not, but he is clear for now. As Stefan looking for a move on medal, 4 tenths behind is the gap. He's going to have the RS, but no move is to be made here. As what was this? Kiki and Lucas. Lucas probably made a mistake. Kiki gonna spring an offensive here, and he is past Lucas. Yeah, mistake from Lucas, as now Spicer gets past Ismail, and Spicer's got an uphill battle from here. Obviously he's got 4 lap fresher tyres than everyone. It goes up to 7 for some. But yeah, Spicer has got a lot of work to do. Got to catch 7 seconds just to get behind Stefan. There's now Yeezy and Soapbox. Maybe their pact has been broken here, as Soapbox maybe looking for a move. Yeezy's obviously got DRS from the double DRS detection zone, as they now go side by side. That is Lucas and Kiki. Lucas pushes Kiki off the track, so not the cleanest racing here this evening. And that is Lucas ahead. Jaden now within DRS range, and he has not got a penalty, unlike his teammate. As Stefan gets past Medal with a little moment there, as he's on his way. As Spicer's actually caught a second this lap, maybe just more, on the cars in front, as Ismail has got a 3-second time penalty. And we'll look now to this battle between Jaden and Kiki. Jaden looking for an offensive here, but yeah, hairpin, next corner, very tight hairpin. He doesn't want to go into the back of his teammate, as Rappy is making moves at the back of the grid. P13 for now. He's gotten past both EXT drivers, and he's on his way down. Maybe trying to catch Ismail here. It's not out off the cards for Rappy, and he is coming down, and he's got 6 seconds. As Lucas has been double overtaken, and that's a little bit of contact between the two IRT teammates, as that won't go well between those two, as now they have to both go and catch Kiki. Obviously Kiki is on the harder, older tyres, but he can put up a good fight, as we've seen earlier this race. With 6 laps to go, the gloves are off. No friendships are going to be made here. They're going to fight, and they're going to have to fight hard. As Lucas is getting pushed out of DRS here. He's not got DRS, and he'll have to burn all his battery just to keep in, as he is now. And he's just caught up now, as Jaden not looking for a move just yet on the two, well, on the cars in front. So, yeah, Jaden maybe looking for a move here. Not quite, not enough straight for Jaden, but he'll have a second bite of the cherry. Down into turn number 12, and off he goes. Maybe looking for an overtake, but nothing doing there, as he has to stay behind Kiki for now. Go on board with him as it goes side by side here. Well, sorry, not side by side, I'm losing it. As Kiki actually loses the back end, and he might as well go side by side through the final corner. He doesn't. But now onto the straight. It's a very simple overtake for the IRT man, as maybe Lucas now looking to get a piece of the action, but too far back on those 10 old mediums. Those mediums are going to be dead, as he did box at the same pit window as the hard tyres, as that is Dark Heroes into the barrier, and that's a VSC through the final corner. Yeah, just lost it on the exit there. I doubt anyone will be boxing for softs. Maybe the NLR guys. They might as well, being 18 seconds in front of everyone. As they... Yeah, I'm not sure what the pit loss is, but yeah, both stay out. Probably the best decision, but it would cause for more interesting racing. But yeah, as DRS is enabled and we are away again, Kiki may be looking for a move here down into the hairpin, but now his tyres are going off. You can see it just by the amount of moments and problems he's been having, and that's going to maybe entice Lucas, although he is on the same lap page as Kiki. He is on the medium tyre, but yeah, you can see they're braking late earlier, and yeah, tyres just dying of death. As we look to Stefan for a change, see what he can do. He has got NLR Spicer slowly catching up to him. Former teammates, of course, being at Juventus. But let's see what Stefan can do. He's got DRS open. Too far back for now, but Spicer will be closing onto the back of him soon, as Soapbox coming down into the start of lap 26. He is in a good, he's in a good position here to get a podium, as long as he doesn't get a penalty. He is on the older tyres. Janel, I believe he's closing up. I'm not sure. He is not closing up. But Soapbox looking for the final place on the podium for the WR outfit. Let's see what he can do. As Kart, I believe, is going for the fastest lap, being on those soft tyres. Tim and Daddlepad obviously swapping. Let's see, are they fighting or are they just playing the team game? They are fighting, I do believe. So we'll look to that for the final lap. But we got Soapbox versus Yeezy here. He has got DRS. I should probably hide that information so no one gets an advantage. And Spicer has caught onto the back of this group. Spicer maybe looking to make a move on Stefan here. Maybe carry on his charge up the field, as he makes a tiny mistake. Janel now with 3-second time penalty. As now Spicer coming through into turn 12, going around the outside, and he makes it work. Unlike, you know, I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Yeah, you can probably guess what I was going to say. But Spicer up into P9 without a penalty. So let's see what happens here. Lucas on the back of Kiki. Jaden also in front of both of them. But obviously Lucas on the harder, the older, softer tyres. As now NLR side by side, nothing stupid here, as we will go back to Soapbox. He has got DRS, but nothing to be gained so far. As actually Yeezy's gone wide. Yeezy's gone wide. And here comes Soapbox. He's staying behind for now. But yeah, Yeezy is struggling. As Kiki here, he's looking for a move. He's got his DRS shut, so staying behind. Saving it all for the last lap, it seems. As yeah, NLR are far clear. If any overtaking happens at the front, it's going to probably be them lapping. But yeah. Here comes Soapbox. He's got his DRS open, but he's not going to make a move because he's waiting for the final lap. But someone who might be making a move, here is Lucas, looking for a move. Kiki has to make a move on Jaden, and he's been tapped. But somehow no one spun. And yeah, Lucas has to make a move here if he wants to keep that IRT 6-7 as it stands so far. As here comes Lucas, he's going to activate his DRS now. And Lucas coming up, and no move made. Kiki has to push here, otherwise he's going to be overtaken by Lucas, and he is going to drop points. As the NLR boys have started the final lap, and yeah, they're not fighting this. They're going to hold on to that one too. But we'll look to the battle for P3 as Soapbox is behind. He's going to have DRS for the majority of the lap unless DRS games are played. Here comes Kiki, sorry, not Kiki, Soapbox. He's going to probably save all his battery for that final straight. Let's see what happens here. He's got a decent amount of battery. Let's see what happens here though. He's going to have DRS. And what happens here? What am I doing? NLR guys, they are ahead. So Box is ahead. Yeezy can't do anything. But here comes Yeezy on the cutback. Down the straight. Soapbox has the battery, but nothing made there. But here comes Jaden, no DRS, and that's what happens there. Yeah, that's probably that. But here comes Spicer and Stefan, still going towards the line, side by side, down to the hairpin. Hey, Spicer pushes Stefan off the track. Ismail maybe coming to pick up the pieces. Goes for a switchback. Is he going to get him to the line? No, just about not, as Lucas has actually dropped behind Spicer, and that's Spicer up to P8. A good recovery drive from him. As we will look to Rappy. Is he going to get the fastest lap here? Car has gone off the track, but doesn't really matter, he's last. Rappy gets the fastest lap. It's an 18.1. Here comes Kart. Is he going to get the fastest lap? Coming down the straight, and yeah. That is Australia for you in DKMN Season 4. Yanel driver of the day, probably would get driver of the day. That's an amazing drive from him. Last to question mark challenge, and I think he got P5. So, another 1-2. Tim ahead of Daddlepad. Yeah, dominant display. 12 seconds in front of everyone. Then you got Soapbox and Yeezy. Soapbox picking up the final place on the podium for WOR. Then Yanel from last to P5. Not bad from him. Kiki 14th to 6th. Again, that's a decent result for him. Then you got Jaden, Spicer, Lucas and Stefan. Probably a lot of post-race penalties to go. But Boy Lulu, Dark Heroes and Monza have all retired from the session. Rappy with the fastest lap. And that is DKMN Australia. So thank you all for watching.